Hello FlowStube, my name is Tamara, and if you see this, this video, it means that I have been, that I managed to stitch this design. The thing is that finally I'm ready to try stitching, practicing hardanger. So this is a work which implies hardanger. And why do I say that if you see this video? Because I intend to stitch this work without posting anything in any video. Why I'm doing this? Not because I'm very secretive and this is a super secret project, just because of the fact that you know, when I start projects and I'm showing them in the videos, I kind of feel responsible to stitch them regularly, to show you how it goes on. About this work, I don't know how it is going to go on, and I don't know if I'm going to manage to stitch. I mean that I decided to stitch it slowly. The first part, this part, I'm filming in the beginning of September, so I gave myself a lot of time for this design. At least ideally this would be stitched until the 6th of November, my birthday. So I intend this one to be a present to my birthday, a ready stitched work. I don't know why all the time I thought that my first hardanger work is going to be a Victoria sampler, but meanwhile I saw designs from Cross and Patch, and the designs of Amy Bishop fascinated me. This was one of the first designs which I saw. I was able to buy the chart. As far as I understood, these charts are out of print, so but nevertheless you can find them on eBay. At least I could find this one. And they suggest, this is called Homeward Bound, and this is chart number 147. They suggest that you can stitch it like this and frame it, but you can stitch it like this, and here a little bit they took out something, put out one more hardanger row here, they changed a little bit here, I mean comparing with this one, and you can make it like an angle and make a strawberry and make it as a strawberry, you know. I like the variant very much. I like this variant very much, but I don't like that they took out elements from here. That's why I am going to stitch for sure this variant. For sure, for me, it's going to be this variant. About finishing it, I haven't thought yet, but I am tempted to make it like such a to make it like with a pink cushion and bell pull. So I don't know about the finishing. I want very much to be able to stitch this one and to finish my first hardanger attempt successfully. And the materials which I needed for this design, so they are quite nice, I would say, not expensive ones. So there are 23 colors of DMC 6-stranded cotton, simple one. There are 4 colors of pearl, DMC pearl. So this one, the white one, is number 12. These 3, they come number 8. This one I already had in stash. This 3 I had to buy. Also, it is recommended such frosted glass. I recommended such frosted glass beads. I'm not sure if I'm going to use these ones, or maybe I'll pick something from my stash, because I was very, how do I say, I doubted these ones when they came, because I didn't have them in my stash. I ordered them, and when they came I was kind of doubting them. Okay, and the fabric, according to the key, at least for this design, the one which I want to stitch, the recommended fabric is cashel, 28th count. I'm not sure, cashel, I mean like linen. I'm not sure that I want to start on linen, because still hardanger implies, how they say, symmetry. That's why I found in my stash some Brittany Lugana. This is even weave, also 28th count. As far as I could see, the colors look okay. on this one, they look okay on this one. So I will finally decide which one is going to be for this design, and of course you will find out. So this kind of design is going to be filmed in little episodes, and you'll probably see the ready work in like from the beginning until the ready work in one video. And here is the second how do I say episode of the film Cross and Patch Amy Bishop, Homeward Bound, because I have stitched. So this is what it should be in the end, and this is what I have. Yes, I stitched kind of half of the design, because if you look at the chart says that half of the design is here. Didn't film anything because I was super concentrated in stitching and like making sense of how to do it, because this is my first hardanger, and of course I was like kind of worrying. And if you remember about my choice of fabric, you probably noticed that this is not the fabric I said that I would stitch on. This is the fabric I said that I would stitch on. So this is Brittany Lugana 28th count, even width. The color is ivory, if I'm not wrong, and if you can see here, this is my first hardanger element ever, and I just gave up doing it on this fabric. The thing is that when I finished this first element, because I decided to start like here, this is the most difficult part for me, and I decided if I'll manage to do this one without any mistakes, and everything is going to be okay after, you know, like cutting the threads for hardanger, I can do the rest, because it would have been a pity to start from here, cross stitch everything here, and here make a mistake. But now I think that even if it was a mistake, you could like cut here and frame this one. We can find a solution. The stitchers are very resourceful people. Okay, so I just didn't like how the colors look on this fabric. I put all the threads which I used in this design, put them on this fabric one more time, and yes, I said no, I cannot stitch on something I don't like. The second choice I said that it was like the raw linen, as they recommend in the chart, because in the chart they recommend to use raw linen. But using the raw linen, it would have meant that the blocks, you know probably what the blocks are, so this like the element which outlines the hardanger, should have been stitched with this color, with DMC Pearl number 8642, and this one very much is the same color as the fabric. It's not a problem. I looked at a lot of designs, and they have like the color which is stitched for blocks, which goes hand in hand with the color for the fabric. It's not a problem, but in my case, I don't know why, I just wanted this color of the blocks to be different from the fabric, so I didn't even start on this one. And I remembered that there is the magic color of fabric which is called platinum and which goes with a lot of designs, by the way. This is a very, I would recommend this when you don't know what to stitch on, go to platinum. And remembered about this color, went to my box with fabric stash to see if I had some. Yes, I had some left over, so it wasn't the full fat quarter, but it was enough. And I like calculated how much I need. It was enough, 28th count, and I started stitching also with this heart. Did it, liked it, and said okay, this is going to be the one. By the way, what you see underneath, this is the fabric which I already bought to use underneath this one. I would have preferred more brownish, because this is more dark reddish, but I bought it online, and online it looked more dark, how they say, brownish. But when it came, and when I like put it like here, honestly, I like how it looks like. I mean, like, because I wanted it to be very, very dark, because when it's very dark, the holes for the hardanger are seen very well. So I'm going to leave it. I'm not going to change to look for the other perfect color, because this one is okay. And, you know, like, hardanger here is the surface of the hardanger, cut hardanger is not so much, so that I would need, like, I would be very, how they say, specific to, like, a more brownish color. I don't know if I said, I would have wanted to film more in between when I was stitching this one, but I was so concentrated and so, how they say, trying to get the sense of it, that I didn't think about filming. By the way, when I tried to look on YouTube this design to see if other people stitched it, how it looks, what fabric, I did it when I couldn't decide what fabric to use, you see. So when I YouTubed it, you know, there is the verb to Google it, I YouTubed it, I found a stitcher, an Ukrainian stitcher. I will leave the link of her channel in the info box. So she has a master class divided in 3 videos, if I'm not wrong, where she shows step by step how she stitched this one. I don't know if she has okay, even if you won't understand the language, just looking at what she's doing, if you are interested in it, of course, just looking at what she's doing, for sure you'll understand a lot of things. And I noticed that I haven't finished. I need some backstitch here, and I need one of my Palestinian knots here. It's because I ironed it before showing it to you, so I will have to make one more stitch of backstitch here, and I'll have to finish the I'll have to remake the Palestinian knot. Okay, so what did I do? I started with this side, as I said, because I wanted to make sure that I will deal with it. Okay, I started with the heart, made the blocks of the heart, cut what I had to cut, pulled the threads out, and made these woven bars. And this is my second heart. If you remember, this is my second heart. This is not my first heart. My problem is, I have a problem with the hardanger so far. When I cut, I'm not able to cut it so neatly that I wouldn't have this, how they call, antennae, how they call them. Look, here, you see? Here. I would prefer them to be more neat. I know there is a method of, like, arranging them. If you have, I have a scissor, which is not okay. How they say? Thicker needle, you just get inside and you try to, like, make this like here, and they go inside if they're short. In my case, I was afraid that I would cut this thread, these blocks as well. That's why I cut them too much here, you know. I did the operation of, like, putting them inside. The short ones, they went inside, but the longer ones, they didn't go. Cutting them at this point is very dangerous, because you can cut the blocks, you see. So even if this was my second, like, how they say, element, hardanger element, still with this cutting I am not doing okay. How they say, I'm sure that this will come while practicing. So if I am going to stitch more hardanger elements, for sure I am going to get this hand, because till the end, everything about stitching is to be careful and to practice, and you'll do everything. my opinion is. But so I finished this one. I realized that I have this antenna. I left it like this. By the way, on this heart, I made the flower, and inside the flower it should be a lazy daisy like this, with this color. I made this lazy daisies like 4 times, I think. Didn't like how they looked. I wanted them to be more or less the same. I couldn't make them the same, because they come not on usual fabric. When you're making on the usual, but on the usual fabric I also don't make them all the same. But here, and I didn't like, because it was evident, you know, that on this, like, color of thread, it was evident that they are not okay, and I left it like this. I thought, I don't have beads here, I need some beads. I thought maybe in the end I'll try to attach a bead here or beads here. I'll see how if something is to be finished here, it's going to be finished with beads. Also, this one requires such green leaves, 2 green leaves like here. They should be oven. They are a pain in the you know what. So here they are not nice. I tried them here like twice. They are not nice. I tried here twice or 3 times. They were awful, and I just gave up. I said, okay, between the variant of having them awful and not having them, I chose the variant of not having them. And I think it doesn't look so awful that I don't have these 2 green leaves. You may think that they were not supposed to be here like initially. Okay, so finishing this heart, I did the following thing. So I counted how much space I needed to do this one. I made this one, counted how much space I needed to come to this element, and I did this element because these were the 2 elements I was afraid the most. Making the blocks, by the way, because this is called blocks, it's the easiest thing. I didn't make any mistake. It was easy to make it. You have to count and to be careful how you start the next block, and that's it. It was very... Now when cutting this one, I tried to be more careful, but nevertheless, I also had this antennae. But when I was making the next element, you know, these things, I don't remember how they are called. Let me look, because they should have a name. They should have a name. Where are you? Web. It's called a web. This one. So I started to make this web here. This web is made here. The first one, which was here, and this one doesn't look very well, but still it's acceptable. Started to do them here. They were not good. I made like this here, the thread finished. I started a new thread, and starting with this one, they were starting to look okay. And I continued doing, did this one, finished here, frogged out the first ones and made them once more, because I already knew how to do them more or less equal and nice. When I finished this element, I understood that these webs, they more or less cover this part, and the antennae which are here, they are not seen. And I said, so this is a solution for my heart. So even if the chart doesn't supposed to have it, you see, I decided to make these webs here as well. These webs, by the way, if you don't like them, if you decide to take them out, they are very easily, you cut just these parts and you have them. So, because I did here and I already knew, and I decided I don't have anything to lose. Let me try to see how they look like. If I won't like how they look like, I'm going just to take them out, remove them. And I liked how they look like. And you know, when making them, they covered here the antenna which I had from the cutting, and it's not so evident, or the heart doesn't look so, how do I say, so big and so empty, because I didn't do the green woven leaves here. So the heart stays like this. The only improvement which is going to be made in the end is going to be with beads. If I'll decide to make like something with this flower, the beads are going to be used according to the key. That's it. Finishing this one, like I was already calm, didn't worry, started to do the other things. This one is an Algerian eyelet, but when you finish it, you just take the thread out and you wove it, or how to say, because it's kind of this kind of spider, but you go around this one. It's a very easy one to do. Here it should have been white, the thread. I decided to change it with B5200 because on this fabric it looks whiter, and the beads also going to be the same color. That's why I changed it. Then the back stitch over the river and through the woods, and the flower was already made in long stitch. I made the lazy daisy around it. This is also an Algerian eyelet, and these ones, they come in long stitch. There is the chart is very clear what color choose and what to do, but here the chart says to make it in 2 threads. I started this dark green leaf with 2 threads. Didn't like how it looked like. The thing is that when it's linen, it's not even weave. Sometimes the space between the long stitches can be bigger. For example, you see this thread, it's bigger, and there was space between this one, so I didn't like how it looked like, and I tried this one to stitch in 3 threads, because I remember that when I was stitching just then stocking with solders, I had a poinsettia flower there also in long stitch, also quite and there I also didn't like how it looked in 2 threads, changed it into 3, and it was perfect. Made this one into 3 threads, liked how it looked like, frogged this one, and everything which you see here, everything goes in 3 threads, everything, absolutely. I like it. If you like it, you can do it by yourself as well. Didn't change any of the colors here because they fit perfectly with the fabric, because I saw that some stitchers which use the different color of fabric, they had to change some color of these things so that they wouldn't go the same color as fabric. The acorn here, it goes in long stitch. This is a Palestinian knot. They also show here in the chart how to do it, and some back stitch here. So the rest of it was easy to do, but I was afraid mostly because of this hardanger. Did it, and what I have left to be, what is left to be done on this work is to make the stitching, because here is mostly everything is stitching, some back stitch, and there is some herringbone and others, but these ones I practiced recently in my shepherd's bush designs. I know for sure for this one and this one for sure I had them. So yes, it's going to be relaxing and stitching like peacefully and calmly. And I have already the fabric which I'm going to use for the back one, and the idea of finishing this one in a bell pull doesn't let me sleep peacefully. So yes, I'm going to continue stitch it, and I'm going to continue showing you what is happening with this design. First thing, I'm going to remake this one and make the backstitch here so that I wouldn't forget. You see, sometimes it's how they say, it's helpful to film, because while filming you notice that, this teacher, you notice that there is a minor mistake you made, or something you skipped, you forgot about. Or I had the case when the viewers, people who watched the video, said, okay, but look, there isn't a bit there, or you made the stitch another color, is it according to the key? So this is a very useful thing to do, to film your projects. And here is the ready work. Yes, last time when you saw it, it was stitched until here, and I said that I have the easy part left where it's just cross stitch. Yes, it was just cross stitch, just a few specialty stitches, and it was an easy thing to be done. I hoped very much that I'm going to show this design finished, like the finishing as well, because I want to finish it as a bell pull. There were some issues, I'll tell you later which issues, and that's why it's a finished work. So far it's a finished work, because I don't want to rush with the finishing. I want to do it my way. I want to be, how do I say, satisfied by the final product. That's why I'm going to look for the materials I need for it. So yes, it's a very beautiful autumn scenery. I'm sorry if the light is not okay, but I have light which I can include, but it looks not nice. I don't know why. So this is how it looks like. So it's cross stitch, back stitch mostly. There is some herringbone stitch on this bridge. There are some satin stitches in this bushes or grass, whatever this is. There is, I don't know how these stitches are called, but they're very, I don't remember because they indicated in the chart, I don't remember, but they are very easy to be done. Then satin stitch comes into these trees as well, and these birds, they come in 1/1, like, you know, tiny cross stitches. I had some, how they say, things with this horse. In case you haven't noticed, there is a horse and here is a man who leads the horse. So making it according to the key, to the chart, not the key, the chart, you know, this one looked like a giant cat. I took the chart with the preview, looked very carefully at the where is it? It's here. This one looks nice, by the way. This one looks nice, and the other two, like the one which is here and the one which is here, they don't look nice, by the way. They look different. I mean, like, sorry, there is a horse here, there is a horse here. What I have done, I looked very much at very carefully at this one, very carefully, and I tried to reconstruct or to make the horse according to how it's made here. It's better than the giant cat, but it looks more like a donkey. Not like a horse, but it's better to make it look like a donkey than to look it like a giant cat. I also added the beads here, so added the beads. Beads are according to the key, so here, and beads on the heart. Yes, and as I said, I wanted to finish this one as a bell pull, which would come here because the heart allows this thing like in an angle here, you know. And I liked very much the idea of the bell pull having a strawberry in, like this one. You see, there is a strawberry here, there is a strawberry here. The strawberries are different, by the way. And I tried to make a strawberry and I have one, but I'm not ready to use this strawberry for this one. Why not? First of all, if you would look at this one and you would imagine how it would look the end of it, something like this and like this, I think this one is too big. It's huge. I don't know why I think this one is huge. So because I used raw linen and I used to 28th count, and I think it's too big here. I tried to make again the leaves here, which I don't have here. I tried again to make them here, and they look awful. I tried to make the lazy daisy stitch, which is not here because I didn't like how it looks like, and again it's awful. So I don't regret a bit that I didn't add them here, because again I couldn't make them nicely here. Why did I choose raw linen? Because I was very curious to see how this color of thread would look on the raw linen, because I still had doubts if I had a good choice by choosing platinum here, and yes, I don't regret. I like how it looks on platinum. What else? And look, I tried to make this top, and I practiced buttonhole stitch, or how it's called, for the first time in my life, and I managed to do it, because this one is how do I say, it's separate, you see, and I made the hole. I made a kind of cord here. So this one can be scissor fob, or can be a nice autumn decoration. So it's not bad. And now, you know, I'm thinking like I don't know if I'll have the patience of making one more strawberry, making it on the 30-second count, and I have to make it this one because this one is smaller, much smaller. Or choose a tassel and like use a tassel here. And one more reason I haven't finished it yet, you see, I used, if you remember, I had this fabric bought, and I used the fabric here, and I don't like how this color of fabric looks like. And I decided that I want to try choose different color of fabric, meaning like this one, this color, this is 301 DMC, or darker one, this one, if you can see this, I mean like this one. I went to an offline shop to choose it live, and they had beautiful it was hobbycraft, beautiful autumn fabrics, but they were with print. I need something without print, so I'll order one online. You know, maybe after ordering online such a color and like putting it here, I will understand that it's not so good as this one, and I'll come back to this one, but at least I will have something to compare with. I want to have something to compare with. I don't want to like finish it and then feel sorry that I didn't use all the variants I had. This is another reason. I have such a wooden bell pull stick. I have a darker one. So I'll use this model, either this the light one or the darker one. And why do I want to make here corner, like not making it, you know, like I used to make the September song like this, but I want to make like under an angle, because here the design allows to have an angle here. So I hope that I will manage to finish this one until the end of the autumn, meaning until the end of November, because yes, it won't be displayed, but I will have it ready for next year. So next year when autumn comes, I'll just take it out and like I'll enjoy it the whole autumn. Yeah, so I hope that until the end of the season you'll see this one finished as well. And I can tell you for sure that I totally love the designs of Amy Bishop, and I hope that in future I will stitch more of these beautiful designs. And the next I wanted to show you is the Sanssouci Castle and Gardens, to show which which other parts I finished. Yes, I'm not stitching it very quickly, but nevertheless there is progress, and when I show this little progress, it helps me understand that slowly, and I hope surely, I am stitching this huge design, huge for me at least. So what I have done, actually, I finished these two parts. I had the frames, the cross stitches of the frames were done, but I filled in with these urns. These are called urns, it seems. So I filled in with this urn. They were an easy stitch comparing to the statues, because they had less floss colors, and it was only cross stitch. This one contained like petites. This one was just cross stitch, and the back stitch was like very simple. Nevertheless, when filling in these frames, and these were the second pair of frames I filled in, because this one was the first, they are time consuming. They are not complicated, but they are quite time consuming. They are made only of specialty stitches, so there are Algerian eyelets. And by the way, if you are going to stitch this design, I recommend to stitch this frames, like the inside of these frames, to stitch by 2. Of course, if the space on your frame and the, patience allows you, you can stitch by 4. For example, you could stitch like this 2 and this 2. Why do I suggest to stitch at least 2 by 2? Because it saves you time. For example, I started with the Algerian eyelet. It was a Gloriana color, so I started here, made all the things here, remembered the places I needed them, and did this one. Didn't even look in the chart. Then it is the rice stitch here, and the rice stitch, this one is quite time consuming because it has 3 colors. You have to do first with Rainbow Gallery, Gold Rainbow Gallery, the big stitch. Then with Dinky Dyes, in one thread you have to do like 16 elements to make it like the second layer. And then inside here with Petite Silk Lame from Rainbow Gallery, you make a tiny cross, tiny cross. Yes, not cross stitch, a tiny cross here in the middle. So I didn't need to look for the first like 2 or 3. I looked in the chart to remember, because I have done them previously. And then I didn't need the chart, but time it was like. And it's okay that you don't change the thread so often, but nevertheless you need time to do it. And the beads also are time consuming. There are quite a lot of beads here. But the design starts looking more and more beautifully, honestly. One more thing. Here on the corners are Margarita's Vitriol Medium, and they are recommended just in the first, like this kind of frames, because these frames are going to be in continuation. They don't finish here. I'll have more. Then here in the second, like the third layer, they recommend making a rice stitch, like here, also in the corner. But taking into account that in the beginning I said that yes, I'm going to make it according to the key, but I found a good lot of 50 margaritas like this of the trial medium, so I have more than enough to like put them in for the rest of the frames, and they look very beautiful with this frames. Look how beautifully the work starts too. I love it enormously. You know, it's hard work, it's time consuming, but it's extremely beautiful. And it's something you cannot compare with. For example, I would not compare the chatelaine with anything else. It doesn't have a counterpart in the cross stitch world, I would say, at least. So the next step to be followed, this is going to be the fountain, which is here. I already started this one. I have like two colors of thread. I have the outline, I have some backstitch here, some. So yes, I'm going to fill this one, because as long as I finish this one, I can go like move the fabric and go to the next steps. The next steps are going to be like, we'll start here, but again, I'll have to make some frames first, as I like to make them, some frames first, and then I'll continue with filling in the frames of the elements. I have a little bit more than 30% of the work already done. This is good because the work progresses, but this is not what I expected, because I planned myself that I would have 50% finished by the end of the year. Okay, I can have this 50% by the end of the year if I'm going to stitch only this design, but I won't stitch only this design. So I hope I will reach at least 40. I hope so much, but I won't have 50. But the most important thing is that I stitch in my own way, in my how they say, when I like. This is the perfect way which works for me. This is not a job, you know. I don't have deadlines, so that's why slowly but surely. And this would be all I wanted to show you in today's video. I hope you liked the video. I hope it was interesting for you, and of course, see you in my next videos. Until then, bye bye.